Okay, guys, today I'm going live on a place that I normally don't go live on, and that's on um, another channel of mine. But I think this will help veterans as well as helping real estate investors. Um, this is a message that I thought of and been thinking about for a couple of days now about reintroducing yourself to people that matter in your life. Um, Sometimes we get caught up in a facade of who we are supposed to be and not who we really are. And sometimes people don't get to know who you really are based upon your rank, position, um, a lot of factors that can go into not truly exposing who you really are. You're guarded, or you're in a rush, or you're trying to accomplish things. And I thought this message would be powerful for everybody to slow down and the power of reintroducing yourself. So today's 40 days, 40 tips. It's going to be special, kind of near and dear to my heart. And it's called the power of reintroducing yourself. So everyone, I am Rob Trigg. I work at Jet Lending, and I do a series on my TikTok and other places called 40 Days, 40 Tips. And today I'm going to touch on something a bit personal, and it's a bit deeply meaningful, and power of reintroducing yourself to people from your past. Sometimes life takes us in different directions, and people we used to know might not really know who we are today. And it's true. I mean, sometimes your position, I know in the Army, we had to be a certain way. We had to be, rigid, or, in a leadership position. There's this thing called fraternization that you're not truly allowed to kind of show who you really are to your subordinates. And I always hated that about the Army, to be honest with you. I really did. I found it very challenging for 21 years, not being able to be the person that I wanted to be. And some people may say, well, I haven't changed, blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever. I call bullshit on that. Rank gets to everybody, position gets to everybody. And true leadership is honestly being able to be vulnerable and tell people that you don't know everything. So there was a call that I got about a month ago, and I was busy and didn't have time to call the person back. I'm not going to share his name, but I kept saying to myself, I got to call, got to call, got to call. It's like reordering prescriptions. I got to call, got to call, got to call. And you just get, life happens and you get caught up in it, right? So I wanted to share a story that happened to me recently. I got a call from one of my old soldiers, someone I had spoke to a very, very long time. And he said something that really stuck with me, and that I wasn't the person he initially thought I was. And he shared that years ago that I saved him from going AWOL by sitting down and having an honest conversation with him about who he was, who I was. And, that stuck with me. Towards the end of my career, I was more able to share who I was and be who I was, because I knew that the journey was over. I knew that I was turning into a civilian that wanted to help people and wanted to help people in different ways that, sometimes the military can restrict you from. And during that conversation, we took the time to truly get to know each other a little bit better, that I had with him a few years back. I mean, hell, it's been 11, 12 years. But I saved him from going AWOL and ruining his whole life. And to me, that was powerful. don't think at the time he had told me that, but I think he told me last week, and I was taken back by that. I was like, I've got many success stories of many soldiers that have reached out to me and said, Rob, you helped change my whole future. You helped shape me. I wouldn't be a sergeant first class today if it wasn't for you. And I'm thrilled for those guys that were able to get their careers on track. And when I first was introduced to them, I held them to a standard and told them, this is the standard that we're going to present as a section and as a platoon. This is the work we're going to do, and we're going to produce good work, and we're going to be meaningful about the product that we produce. Now, that's my leadership style, and that's my personality on the outside. But when you sit down and get to know who I am as a person, I care about people. I care about their life. I care about who and what they do with their lives. And my wife says I care too much sometimes. That I try to understand what everybody's going through, and at the end of the day, it can be trying. So, why reintroducing yourself matters? Growth and understanding. That's the biggest thing. We all grow and change over time, and people's perception of who we were might not match who we are now. Taking the time to slow down and reintroduce yourself to someone can lead to new understandings and even deep connections. A fresh perspective. Sometimes people only remember us from a particular moment or phase in our lives. By introducing so I'm a prime example. My whole career, 21 years in the military, was a single phase in my life. I didn't have children. I didn't know responsibility the way that I do now. I didn't know a lot of things because those life events hadn't happened yet. And now I would say I wouldn't even go, if I went back 10 years to speak to myself, I wouldn't even know what to say to him. So a fresh perspective and reintroducing yourself to people that you previously had, friendships or whatever with, is powerful. And how to approach reconnection. Some people may be sitting in the winds going, you know what, I screwed that relationship up. I don't want to, but at the end of it, if you're thinking about reconnecting with someone, start with an honest approach. Reach out and let them know you'd like to catch up and share a bit about where you are now. Listen to their side of the story and open to re-experiencing that relationship from a fresh perspective. I mean, that's honest right there. The impact on relationship. You'd be surprised how many people are willing to revisit those connections when you take the time to reconnect and share who you really are today. It can lead to incredible conversations, new friendships, and even rekindling old bonds. So y'all are probably like thinking, Rob's this big time loan officer and talks about real estate investing. But guys, you got to slow down sometimes, because even with clients or past clients that are not calling you anymore or not picking up the phone, you got to figure out why. Maybe you were in a rush. Maybe you weren't giving them the full attention. I mean, it happens all the time, to people. So I just wanted to share this today because, it really stuck with me that I've gotten so many phone calls over the years from people that said, prime example, one soldier called me a few months back, says, Rob, you went to bat for me when you first got to Fort Campbell. You went and told the command that you wanted to save my career after he had gotten a DUI. And if anybody doesn't know, if you're in the military for any amount of time and a DUI is a career ender. And I told him, I was like, look, I can fix this kid. And he was a kid at the time. I was 10 years older, but the dude's a sergeant first class now. And I was like blown away that, I had that impact on him, that I was able to, save his career. I mean, he far surpassed what I was able to accomplish in the military. And I never got a DUI, never got an Article 15, never got in trouble, not one time. But, I think it's very important that people really get to know who you really are. And you don't necessarily, and I found it funny that some people will judge you off of things that you did in the past, and they'll automatically make a judgment call. That we're so quick to judge and never just really sit down and get to know somebody. I'm guilty of it too. I am. I'm not going to sit here and throw rocks at a glass house, or whatever that expression is. I'm guilty of it too. I judge people, often way too quick. And I think that we should, sit down and have a conversation. This year alone, and not talking about current political atmosphere, but it's really made me sit down and get to know people and why they think the way they think and why they do the things they do. And, at the end of the day, I will say this. I'm better for it by getting to know people and just slowing down the process of getting to know that person. And so that's my tip for the day, guys. Go out and reintroduce yourself to people that matter in your life. If you're sitting back and you're thinking, I wish I could fix that situation, don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, because you never know what impact you really had on them. And you think that it's just not there. Okay. Guys, that's all the time I got today. This was a personal one for me. So again, I hope everybody's having a great start to their November. Thanksgiving will be here in 4 weeks. Christmas shortly after that. So reconnect with those people and set your goals. Start setting them now for 2025. Okay, guys? I am out here. Thank you so much. Thank you.